HCC Movie Reviews, punks and punkettes. We're about to do Starry Eyes. You ready for this? Go! I peeked again, didn't I? So Starry Eye was about a woman who's being tortured by a bunch of producers to achieve this level. I'm just doing stereotypes at this point. Like, that's so disrespectful.
We don't have a script.
It's funny how you're still reading off the script as it's currently
The teleprompter is clearly off. Rock, paper, scissors for you're a douchebag.
Yeah, it's good.
You're peeking out on your sound.
You're peeking though, but it's
I love you, Kevin.
I will do it.
Hello, welcome to HCC MovieMakers Academy Movie Reviews. I'm Trey Dixon.
And I'm Kevin Simmons.
And in line with our recent string of underrated horror movies, I recommended that we watch and review a little gem called Starry Eyes. Ooh. Starry Eyes is a film about a young aspiring actress who, in order to catch her first big break, is pressured by a malevolent studio in order to go a little further than she's willing, and horrific events ensue, and culminating in one of the most original and well-done horror movies I've seen in quite some time, I think.
Well, this was recorded, when was it, 2014?
I think it was 2013 this one came out.
This is a great horror film. I think this is already an instant classic to a certain sense. I hope. Does it have a cult following? Because I didn't hear about this movie.
There's significant people talking about it on the internet, but this is the type of horror film that deserved the opening that It Follows got. I know you're not crazy about It Follows, but this movie deserved like massive worldwide attention. I really love this film.
I love films like this. I love when you throw a character inside of a cage and you make the cage more and more difficult to exit. And what does it mean that she wants to be in this cage? Where am I going? It's a good movie. I love movies in this vein.
See, we were talking, Gerald and I, when we were reviewing the original Poltergeist, that movies, horror movies particularly, from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s, the good ones anyway, they had something to say about society.
Yeah.
And this movie is a brilliant commentary on the studio system and how it sucks life out of everything it lays its grubby little hands on. It's a horrible, perverted mechanism that just destroys artistry and makes you into a monster.
Swallows souls, and enjoys it. Like it's part of a sport, you know?
They're just a bunch of fat cats at the top of the hill drinking their wine and looking down at all the people.
Understanding that people are willing to give anything, their entire lives even.
Just to have their name on a poster. And this is a brilliant commentary on that type of, on that type of issue. And
there's
Americans.
So much. So we gave a really. Can we get the numbers out of the way?
No, I mean, okay. This is
8 out of 10.
8. I'm gonna go 8.5.
Great.
I love this film.
Can we talk about even the opening to me? I don't know why. I feel this is an instant classic of the early 2010s or whatever.
Yeah,
a horror film. I'm almost mad that It Follows got such a following.
This is because it's that movie It Follows was clearly harkening back to like the films of John Carpenter. You know, with it you can say whatever you want about It Follows. It worked for the most part, but it was alluding to the works of another filmmaker, particularly that of John Carpenter. Starry Eyes feels completely original.
Yes.
And it feels like it has a style.
Vibrant.
It has a complete style all to its own. And it feels like a filmmaker trying to say something real. And he decided horror is the best genre in order to demonstrate what it is I'm trying to say here.
That's exactly it. No, I don't know. It's just, It Follows never felt like it pushed any limits. You know, you can say all the things about following general conventions of horror film and I do agree absolutely. It Follows is John Carpenter's cousin, who's not able to make such good movies, made a movie. Starry Eyes just felt vibrant. I don't know. Was it a debut directorial work?
It was 2 guys. That
no, it wasn't.
It.
They made a bunch of short films because I remember I had to look them up on IMDb.
They're a couple really talented filmmakers, and let's pray that they make more movies because I want to see more movies made by these guys. The ending is what sticks out to me because throughout the entire film you feel this tension. From the very beginning you can tell that something is off kind of about this girl. She's a
little too willing, a little too helpful.
But she's like, you know, because actors they have to put up with a lot of rejection, and they have to face their fears on a daily basis. And you get the sense that this woman has kind of been pushed to the edge a little bit. And by the way, this actress, I forgot her name. She's brilliant. This is a star-making performance.
Sarah's character, yes.
Yeah. This is a star-making performance if there ever was one. She has this weird thing bubbling beneath her, and as the movie progresses, it constantly gets worse, and you can see something begin to happen with her. And the end, it just explodes. The ending of this movie is an explosion of angst and anxiety and desire in the most graphic way humanly possible. It's beautiful.
And let me not say, the film never brings you down emotionally. This is a horror film to enjoy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a watchable film, and while it is trying to say something, I don't know, it still understands that this is entertainment.
A lot of times when a movie...
It's graphic. You're absolutely right. This is graphic,
really,
horrifying.
really...
The ending is something to YouTube and then regret YouTubing.
It's really bloody.
Yeah.
It's really, really bloody and really messed up what happens at the end of the movie. But a lot of times filmmakers will, when they decide they're going to make a movie that's about something, it'll become like this movie about ideas. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but there's a place for that. There's a place for that type of
subconscious.
Yeah, these guys wanted to make a good horror movie.
Yeah, objective achieved.
A good watchable horror movie. And
it didn't waste your time.
Yeah, it didn't hit you over the head with ideas. Once you realize that there's this actress who's trying to audition to get her first big break, and you realize that this studio is basically tormenting her, you get the gist of what it is the movie's trying to say, and then it moves on, and it just becomes really entertaining to watch.
That's what I mean. It's so well paced. It's just one thing happens, this changes character in this way. Two things happen, this changes the character in this way. But I don't know. It's just you can't. It's such a good movie. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I just love this movie so much.
Yeah, it's really terrific, and it's one of the most underrated movies.
It's like Requiem for a Dream was made by a not a nihilist.
Yeah, exactly. That's precisely how I would describe it. It feels kind of like Darren Aronofsky in a way because he likes to take his characters and throw them in horrible situations and watch them spiral out of control.
I have a test in my mind as a writer, as a guy who likes watching movies. If I can stomach watching a character die, it doesn't mean that they were a bad person, but it means that they were a bad character. While I did not want to watch Sarah die, it was entertaining to watch her kind of fall and trip in. This weird kind of, what's that word in English? It's cathartic.
Yeah,
something about it.
I wanted, because when I was watching her character go through her spiral, I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking, okay, this is a result of a horrible, detestable studio that wants nothing more than to suck your soul out and drain all artistic creativity out of you. This is what they do. It's their sport. It's like this is what they do to you. If you're like a young filmmaker who has a genuine idea and wants to say something about yourself, wants to say something about the people around you or humanity or whatever, there are people out there who don't care.
No, absolutely.
There are people out there who don't care what you're trying to say.
No, they don't even care about art. They just understand being a TV exec affords you just terrible, terrible power over very weak-willed people.
This is
that's the Nick
This
guy.
is a movie for
Nick Simmons. He did an excellent job in his character too.
Oh God, yeah. And there was the guy from Looper and Brick.
Yeah.
The guy who works with Ryan Johnson on a bunch of. Yeah, but he was. I liked his character. I like not all of the characters are particularly fleshed out. Some of them are just stock characters that you keep waiting for something bad to happen to them, but they serve their purpose in lieu of the narrative.
Well, they're literally surrounding characters, you know what I mean? They're the characters around the characters that does evolve, the characters that does go through the motions of the story.
The point is, everything in this movie serves its purpose.
Yes.
It's a movie for people who love horror films. It's a movie for people who are filmmakers as well.
That's very true.
And I would recommend this wholeheartedly.
I instantly recommend this.
Yeah, 8.5, 8.
8, yes. I wish I could give it higher, but it's one of my favorite of this year, or last year.
Or
it's my favorite horror film that's come out of recent.
Yeah, so if you love horror films and you love filmmaking and you understand the anxiety of what it takes to be an actor or an actress, then we highly recommend Starry Eyes. Definitely seek it out. It's very underrated and it deserves your attention. Thank you for watching HCC MovieMakers Academy movie reviews. We're brought to you by the Houston Community College Filmmaking Program and HCC TV. We love movies, and if you love movies too, then check out our YouTube channel and subscribe if you would like to receive alerts to new reviews, just like this one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.